All right, so we're here with Olympic triathlon gold medalist Alex Yee ahead of his marathon debut in London. I guess, first of all, how has your training and your build-up gone?
Yeah, I mean, touch wood, it's gone really well. I've had some ups and downs with a little bit of illness. That's the thing which has been the kind of thing which has kind of thrown stuff in the way. But apart from that, I've been able to do my key sessions and yeah, be able to hit the mileage. So yeah, I'm really pleased that I've been able to come out the other side. One of the big goals of this whole block was to make the start line and make sure I'm there. So yeah, really pleased with that.
What's been the toughest part of the training for you?
I think before this, running out the door had always been kind of, I could switch my brain off and I'd kind of go out and run whatever pace that may be, and that would be kind of how I did my training for running. And then once I got to sessions, it was very specific, very hard. Whereas now I feel like all my running has been very purpose driven, has had to have a pace, a heart rate, an intensity, and I think that's as a result of having quite a low volume on the run compared to most people are doing. So I think that's probably been the challenge for me, is keeping my brain switched on all the time, and definitely something I struggled with initially, and now I'm starting to really enjoy and find that enjoyment through my purpose.
What was your mileage like? What was your peak and what was your average around?
Probably averaged around 82, 83 miles a week. No, actually probably more like 85, 86. So I'm trying to work in from Ks to miles, and then peaked out about 92, 93 miles. So nothing too crazy. I was still doing 8 hours on the bike and 3 or 4 swims a week. So I'm still trying to get that recovery stimulus and aerobic stimulus from the kind of bike and swim, and also trying to keep that in there. So I'm almost ready to come back to triathlon as well.
Yeah, the bike and swim sessions, are those just recovery efforts, or are you working out there as well?
So it's a mixture. So majority of them are kind of quite aerobic stimulus, not recovery, but like kind of a low level aerobic. And then I would have up to kind of a VO2 effort. I wouldn't do any maximal stuff in the pool and on the bike. Yeah, a little bit of that kind of stuff still going on.
How does that volume of sessions compare to what you would do like in triathlon training for the swim and bike?
Yeah, so swim and bike would normally be about six swims a week, probably almost double the amount of volume I'm swimming at the moment, and then kind of 14, 15 hours on the bike as well, so a lot more hours on the bike. So, and then my runs kind of increase from about 60 miles a week to 85 to 90. So yeah, that's the kind of increase, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but that increase from 60 miles to 90 has been something which I've tried to do incrementally, and definitely takes up a lot more of the week, because those runs are a lot more solid and require the recovery to get over. And it's probably something I got wrong initially when I started doing it. I was just treating it like any other run, and then my immune system started to go down. I got sick on 2 occasions. So that's all been part of the learning process of that kind of different marathon stimulus and marathon block.
Yeah. Where have you been training?
I've just been training mainly out of Loughborough, which is where I've been training all my triathlon stuff. So in the Midlands, I did a small training camp in Portugal, and that was meant to be a bit of preparation for a small bit of heat stimulus, which we potentially will have on the weekend. But I mean, the weather wasn't amazing there. We still got some hot days, but yeah, that's kind of the idea of that, and to try and keep things as close to home, not change too much for this first marathon block, and then if I do another one, then we can do a bit of exploration, whether that's altitude or heat and humidity.
Sounds like there's going to be like a 208 group and a 210 group. Do you have any inkling of which one you might go out with, and do you have a time goal in mind?
I mean, I'd love to sit somewhere in the middle to start, which is not ideal. I'd love to go out at kind of that 209 pace, 64:30, and see where I'm at from that, because I think that gives me the opportunity to sway both ways. But yeah, we'll see what happens on the day, and see what happens on Saturday when we start out the pace groups. But yeah, I'd love a 64:30 group.
And when did you fully commit to triathlon? Because I know you're British champion in the 10,000 back in 2018, I think.
I mean, I started triathlon before triathlon, so my first foray into kind of anything was triathlon. So I guess I've always been a triathlete first and foremost, and kind of dabbled in athletics and that kind of stuff. And definitely in 2017 I had a bad crash, and in 2018 that kind of gave me that purpose to come back and to be able to run as the first thing I was able to do. But I'd never say I'd given up the opportunity to be a runner and to do things like this and have this opportunity. And yeah, it's amazing to kind of be here and I guess still have those two hats on.
And then last question, I'm told you're a Palace fan. It's a big game on Saturday. Like, how are you going to manage the stress of that ahead of your marathon debut?
Good question. I don't know. I'm going to try and stay as calm as possible. I was watching them actually yesterday when we were playing Arsenal, and we had 2 cracking goals. So I mean, it's the hope that kills you, isn't it, with these kind of things? And I really hope we can do it because we've had some pretty good form to go into drawing against Arsenal. So try and stay as calm as possible, put on my Palace strip and represent as much as I can from afar, and hopefully be able to go to the final.
Gotcha. Thanks, Alex.
Nice,
Good luck.